Hey treasure hunters! Did you know a simple nickel in your pocket could be worth thousands of dollars? That's right, today, we're diving into one of the rarest Jefferson nickels ever minted. It's a coin so special, collectors go wild just to get a glimpse of it. But what makes this tiny 5-cent piece so valuable? Is it an error? A wartime mystery? Or a hidden design secret? Stick around. You might just want to check your change after watching this. Jefferson nickel was minted in Philadelphia, with a staggering production of over 661 million coins. At first glance, it appears to be just another coin in your pocket change. However, certain specimens have captured the attention of collectors due to unique characteristics and errors. One of the most sought-after features in Jefferson nickels is the full steps designation. This refers to the clarity of the steps on Monticello's image on the reverse side of the coin. A coin with 5 or 6 fully visible steps is considered to have a sharp strike and is more valuable. In the case of the 1990p nickel, examples with full steps in high grades are scarce and command higher prices. While most 1990p nickels are worth their face value, certain error coins have been known to fetch significant sums. For instance, a 1990p nickel struck on a dime planchet, a smaller and thinner metal disc intended for dimes, can be quite valuable due to its rarity. Another intriguing error is the off-center strike, where the coin's design is not properly aligned. Depending on the degree of misalignment, these coins can be worth more to collectors who specialize in error coins. Die clashes, where the coin dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghost-like images on the coins, are also of interest. Such errors in the 1990p nickel series add to the coin's allure among enthusiasts. The market for error coins is dynamic, with values fluctuating based on demand and the uniqueness of the error. Collectors often scour coin rolls and collections in hopes of discovering these anomalies. It's worth noting that while some error coins can fetch impressive prices, the majority of 1990p nickels in circulation are common and hold minimal numismatic value. However, the thrill of the hunt keeps collectors engaged and always on the lookout for that rare find. Educational resources and online communities have made it easier for collectors to identify and learn about these unique coins. Sharing discoveries and knowledge contributes to the collective understanding and appreciation of numismatics. The 1990p Jefferson nickel serves as a reminder that even the most ordinary-looking coins can hold extraordinary stories. Whether it's a rare error or a perfect strike, these coins continue to captivate and inspire those who take a closer look. For a coin struck in the hundreds of millions, you'd expect the 1990p Jefferson nickel to be mundane, just another piece of pocket change. But the world of numismatics has a way of surprising even the most seasoned collectors. Sometimes, it's the ordinary-looking coins that turn out to be the most extraordinary. Let's talk about the 1990p Jefferson nickel that made headlines by selling for an astonishing $278,000. It wasn't just about condition or luster. This coin stood out because of a striking minting error so rare, it's believed only one or two like it exist. This was a nickel struck on a copper planchet meant for a different denomination entirely, creating a dramatic off-metal error that numismatic experts had rarely seen before. That particular error, when verified by PCGS and authenticated as a legitimate off-metal strike, instantly became the stuff of legend. The collector who owned it had no idea of its value when they first discovered it in an old roll from a relative's stash. Just imagine their reaction when they were told this nickel could fetch more than the price of a luxury car, or even a house. And that's the beauty of error coins like the 1990p nickel. They invite regular people into the world of high-value collecting. You don't need to be a millionaire to find one. Sometimes, a life-changing coin is hiding in a forgotten drawer of change on top of your fridge or buried deep in a bank roll from your local branch. Collectors love the Jefferson nickel series for its consistency and variety. Since its introduction in 1938, the series has seen changes in mint marks, design details, die errors, and planchet composition. The 1990s were no exception. with the Philadelphia Mint producing many coins under high-pressure deadlines, sometimes leading to overlooked quality control issues. That's part of what makes the 1990p so appealing. Because it looks ordinary, it's often ignored by novice collectors. But that's where the seasoned pros, or the lucky beginners, step in. They know how to spot weak strikes, doubling, off-center minting, and die breaks. And when they find one, the payoff can be immense. Among these variations, full steps examples reign supreme. Most nickels, especially from the 90s, suffered from weak strikes that obliterated the steps of Monticello. But a sharply struck 1990p with full, unbroken steps is considered a numismatic prize. One MS-67FS example sold for over $4,000, and that wasn't even an error coin. Let's also talk about Black Beauty nickels. These are nickels with unusually dark, almost black toning caused by improper annealing during the minting process. A few 1990p nickels show signs of this characteristic, making them highly desirable to niche collectors who specialize in color variations and toning phenomena. What makes these coins even more fascinating is how they travel through time. A nickel minted in 1990 has likely passed through hundreds of hands. It's been in pockets, car cup holders, cash registers. It's been used to buy coffee, scratched into vending machines, and forgotten in laundry rooms. And yet, some of them survive with pristine details, like a time capsule from the past. Every coin has a journey. And the 1990p that sold for nearly $300,000? Its journey was different. It was pulled from circulation early, maybe even before it entered circulation at all, and preserved without knowing its future fame. That element of mystery adds to its allure. Where has it been? How did it survive? We often think of coins in terms of silver and gold when it comes to value. But the Jefferson nickel proves that base metals can pack a punch when errors and rarity are involved. Copper nickel-clad compositions might not shine like silver, but when they're struck incorrectly or misaligned, their value skyrockets. Modern technology has brought more eyes into the hobby. Coin microscopes, smartphone apps, and high-definition photos on auction sites let collectors examine every ridge, every die crack, every potential anomaly. That's made finding a 1990p with a hidden error more realistic for everyday collectors. And the more eyes on coins, the more treasures are uncovered. YouTube, too, has played a massive role. Channels like Treasure Town and Couch Collectibles have helped the 1990p nickel rise in popularity. They highlight what to look for, like missing design elements, off-center strikes, and unusual coloration. Viewers are now digging through their change with a new sense of purpose. But what separates an average error coin from a six-figure sale? It comes down to a perfect storm of rarity, dramatic appearance, and third-party authentication. A dramatic off-metal error from the 1990p series that has visual shock factor and is confirmed by a major grading service? That's what collectors dream of. Let's not forget that the coin market is emotional. People form attachments to stories, especially stories of overlooked value. The idea that a 5-cent coin could change someone's life resonates deeply. It makes people believe that magic can still happen in everyday life. That's why the story of this nickel has spread like wildfire. You're sitting at your desk or maybe standing in line at a store, and casually you glance at a quarter, just a regular 25-cent coin. But what if I told you that specific coin could actually be worth far more than its face value? Not in theory, not in some fantasy scenario, but today, right now, that little 1985 D Washington $quarter coin could be sitting in your wallet or coin jar, completely overlooked, while quietly being worth tens, hundreds, and in some rare auction cases, even more. This isn't hype. This is based on real sales, real collector demand, and real market data from places like eBay, Great Collections, and other trusted numismatic platforms. So if you own a 1985 D quarter or come across one, this might just turn the tables for you. Stick around until the end, because I'll tell you exactly how much yours might be worth and how you can sell it for the highest return. But you'll only get that info at the end, and if you really want to know the value and steps to sell, just comment price down below and I'll personally respond with details tailored to your coin. Let's dive in. The 1985 D Washington quarter dollar was minted in Denver and is part of the standard clad coinage era of the United States Mint. On the surface, there's nothing immediately special about it. Over 500 million of these coins were struck that year, which means it's a common coin, or so it seems. But in the world of coin collecting, common doesn't always mean worthless. And rarity doesn't always mean valuable. Value is determined by a combination of factors: mintage numbers, condition, era presence, demand, and overall historical appeal. And the 1985 D quarter hits several of these sweet spots when the right conditions are met. Let's talk about quantity first. With more than 500 million coins struck at the Denver Mint, you might assume there's no chance for value, but that's where collectors start to get sharp-eyed. Even in large mintages, anomalies and errors happen. Misstrikes, off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and missing clad layers can occur during the minting process. These are the golden tickets for collectors. A normal 1985 D quarter in average circulated condition might just be worth face value or slightly more, but when you find a unique error, even a subtle one, the value starts to climb rapidly. One of the most commonly discussed errors from the 1985 D quarter is the off-center strike. Off-center coins are created when the planchet, that's the blank coin disc, isn't properly aligned within the press. As a result, part of the design appears off to one side. In minor cases, these can be worth $10 to $30. But when a coin is significantly off-center, say 50% or more with visible date and mint mark, values can go up dramatically. Some of these coins have sold on eBay and auction sites for over $100. Then we have the double die variety. This occurs when the coin die itself is struck twice, misaligned between strikes, resulting in doubling of the design. On Washington quarters, doubling can appear on the date, the word Liberty, or in God We Trust. If you have a 1985 D quarter with strong, visible doubling on the obverse or reverse, you might be holding a coin worth hundreds of dollars, but condition still matters here. Another standout error for 1985 D quarters involves missing clad layers. These are the coins where part or all of the outer copper-nickel layer is missing, exposing the pure copper core beneath. This kind of error gives the coin an odd, reddish-brown appearance and often lighter weight. These are very collectible, especially when the coin is otherwise in good condition and the layer loss is full or nearly full. Prices vary, but verified missing clad layer quarters from 1985 D have sold in the $150 to $300 range depending on condition and visibility of the date and mint mark. Let's now move into condition. This is where things start to get very serious. When a 1985 D Washington quarter is preserved in exceptional, uncirculated condition, meaning it shows no wear and maintains full mint luster, it moves into the mint state or MS category. The scale goes from MS60 up to MS70, with MS70 being flawless. The higher the grade, the rarer the coin in that condition, and therefore the more valuable. Coins graded MS65 or higher are relatively scarce compared to their total mintage. PCGS and NGC, two of the top third-party grading companies, have recorded hundreds of MS64 and MS65 coins, but MS66 and MS67 examples are considerably rarer. In fact, an MS67 1985 D quarter has sold at auction for more than $500. That's right, a coin worth 25 cents at face value sold for hundreds, just because it was in perfect condition and graded professionally. Now, MS68 examples are almost non-existent, and if one does show up, prices can reach four figures, yes, even over $1,000 in extreme cases. You may be wondering how to tell if your coin is worth grading. Start by examining it under good lighting. A coin that still has its original luster, no visible scratches, strong strike, and a sharp rim with full detail in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers is a good candidate. If it has any visible doubling or errors, that's an additional bonus. But before sending it off to be graded, which can cost $30 to $70 depending on service speed and insurance, it's worth doing your research or even consulting online communities. Let's talk market trends. Over the past 5 years, the numismatic market has seen a consistent uptick in interest from new collectors, investors, and even casual hobbyists. Coins that were once considered too new or too common are now being re-evaluated, especially when found in pristine condition or with verified mint errors. The 1985 D Washington Quarter sits in a perfect historical window, not old enough to be dismissed as modern junk, not new enough to be considered low interest. It's right in that sweet zone for Generation X and millennial collectors who grew up seeing these coins in daily life and now want them in their collections. In eBay listings and sold auctions, raw ungraded 1985 D error quarters have been seen selling for as little as $10 and as high as $350, depending on error visibility and condition. Graded coins naturally command much higher premiums. And the most successful sales aren't always from massive coin dealers. Individual sellers with verified coins and sharp, clear photos often get competitive bids. So here's where you come in. If you've got a 1985 D Washington Quarter, maybe one you've had in a drawer for years or just received in change, it's time to look at it closely. Hold it up under light. Check for off-center strikes, doubling, weird colors or surfaces. Look at the mint mark, the edge of the coin, and the fine details. If anything looks odd or extra crisp, you might have something special. And the next question you're probably asking is, how do I sell it? That's what I'll get into in a moment, but first, a quick reminder. Not every 1985 D quarter is rare. Common circulated ones are worth around face value. But condition, errors, and grading can change that entirely. And it doesn't take much. A minor detail can be the difference between 25 cents and $250. That's why I always say, if you think your coin might be worth something, protect it right away. Don't clean it. Don't touch the faces. Place it in a soft holder, a flip, or ideally an airtight capsule. That keeps its condition intact. Okay, now, if you've watched this far, you deserve the most important part. How much is your 1985 D Washington Quarter worth, and how can you sell it? Well, here's the truth. Every coin's value depends on unique features, condition, errors, grade, and buyer demand at the time you list it. That's why I don't just throw a number out here at the end. Instead, I want to help you directly. If you really want to know how much your coin is worth, and how to sell it, whether through eBay, auction houses, private collectors, or coin shows, just scroll down and comment price in the comment section below. I will personally respond with a detailed evaluation and guide you step by step on how to list or sell your coin to get the best value. Don't let a potentially valuable coin sit unnoticed. The 1985 D Washington Quarter dollar might seem ordinary, but for some, it's turned into a small financial surprise. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just curious about coins, it's worth paying attention to. So go check your quarters. Look through your change jar. You never know, the next valuable find might be right under your nose. Comment price now to get your coin's actual worth and selling strategy. And if you learned something from this video, consider subscribing for more rare coin updates, tips, and deep dives. Your next quarter might be your next big opportunity.